Hello, welcome back. Let's talk tech. In our last episode, we tackled those pesky business bottlenecks. Now let's explore how technology can be your secret weapon to overcome them. So we're going to dive into the specific areas where technology can work its magic in streamlining. Okay, so there's 4 of them that we're going to go over today, and that's client management, operations, marketing and sales, and content creation. So first, let's dive into client management. Think about juggling multiple clients while keeping everyone happy. Whew, right? Tools like CRMs, which stands for Customer Relationship Management Software, right, can be your new best friend. So imagine having a central hub for storing client information, tracking interactions, and automating tasks. Plus, scheduling software can kiss those back and forth email chains about appointment times goodbye, right? Automating things for your clients. It doesn't take away from the specific, relationship part that you are trying to build, right? So the second one here is operations. Let's face it, paperwork and admin tasks can be a real drag. Right? Stuck in the weeds, right? Project management tools can help you stay organized and on top of deadlines. Accounting software can handle those pesky numbers, leaving you more time to focus on growth. And automation tools, well, they're like having a personal assistant who never sleeps. We all want those. Raise your hand, right? This next one here we put together, marketing and sales. I normally talk about marketing and sales as one, even though they are different. But capturing leads to closing deals, right? That whole process. Technology has your back. So there's email marketing platforms that can nurture your leads. Social media management tools can help you connect with your audience. And then sales automation software can streamline your sales process. So there's lots of processes in here, right? And technology is helping you be able to automate it or make it simpler, right? And this last one that we're going to dive into today is content creation. So we're talking design software, video editing tools, content management systems. And these allow you to transform into like a content machine, right? So there's no more staring at a blank screen, wondering where to start. Hey, that's what this podcast is for me, okay? This is where I start, and then we repurpose things from there. So anyway, if you want to learn how to repurpose your content and turn your podcast into a marketing machine, you can go ahead and check out the podcast episode that I linked in the show notes that I did on that a few months ago. Okay. So let's move on. Selecting the right technology, right? We need the right tools, but it can feel really, really overwhelming. So I'm going to break down some key considerations here. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have like the alignment with your business goals, right? So your tools should support your overall strategy, right? So you have to know what that is first before we can even talk about tech. And so, for example, if your goal is to scale your coaching business or your service-based business, you might prioritize a CRM software to manage a growing client base, right? You also want to take into account like the ease of use of this. Also take into account if you're tech savvy or not, what support you're going to need, all of that stuff. But the ease of use of this is like complex tools can lead to, you got it, frustration. And the thing I see the most is underutilization. So you're not utilizing it. It's probably in its intended purpose, but also like to its maximum, right? And so we want to look for user-friendly options that won't drain your time or energy. So we want them to be very simple to use and understand, right? Another thing that you want to take into account when you're trying to figure out the right tech tools to add to your toolkit is the cost effectiveness. This one's my favorite. I'm always trying to find what will cost me the least amount, but I can maximize it, right? So consider your budget and the return on investment for each of these tools, all right? Some offer free versions or there's tiered prices to accommodate different needs. Pretty much all subscription software or, tools in general here, they're all going to have a free version. And if they don't, well, I don't want to try it, honestly, but that's just my little side note there. I want to try it before I pay for it, if possible. Anyway, moving on. We want to look at the integration capabilities. Now, I feel like this is like a step a little bit farther, so it depends on where you are in your journey, but being able to integrate the software so they can kind of talk to each other or using maybe a Zapier of some sort to be able to connect them. But a seamless workflow here in general is going to be essential. So we're going to look for tools that can integrate with our existing systems and to avoid like the data entry headaches, right? Those manual pieces that we're like, but I don't want to do that, right? So if they can integrate with each other and they can talk to each other, that's even better. Otherwise, see if there's a Zap that you can set up that can help them talk to each other too. So those are some things to look into. The next thing you want to think about is scalability. So choose tools that can grow with your business. You don't want to outgrow your software too quickly because then you have to learn new software and set more things up. So it's better to start with a software that has the ability to scale where you want to go, but not necessarily that you need all of it at this very moment. Okay. So it's always thinking about the long game, right? We're looking to the future. What do we need? And can this scale with me? Right. So also think about the user reviews and recommendations. So talk to your other business friends and look at the reviews they actually have, like on the website of the software or anyone that's used it, right? So seek advice from those online communities, even those other entrepreneurs, to find tools that worked well for others in your industry, and then see like what they didn't like. Maybe that's not something that, it's a big deal to you, but maybe it is. And so kind of uncovering those things can be super helpful. So remember, it's okay to start small, right? It's okay to start small and then gradually expand your tech stack as your business grows. So you don't have to have all the answers right now, but we want to start taking into account all of these things as we're selecting our software, no matter where you are in the process. Okay. So this is actually really fun. I'm going to take a little side note here. And when I do an operations assessment for clients, I go in and I look at all their software and their tech stack, and I'm looking at like, how can we streamline operations? And I'm actually taking into account all of those things. Does this align with their business goals? Is it easy for them to use or for the team to use? Is it cost effective, right? What software do they have that will talk to each other, right? The integration capabilities. Is this going to scale with their business goals, right? Or is something else a better option? And then, of course, I also take into account reviews and recommendations from people I've worked with and everything like that as well. So just a little side note. So if you were like, hey, I would love to just be able to have someone come in and do like this whole thing on my business, totally head to the show notes and grab yourself an operations assessment by filling out the work with me form, and we'll see if that's a good fit. All right. So here, choosing the right tools is just the beginning. So let's talk about actually putting them to work, right? Because we have so many things that we're doing here. So first thing we want to talk about is the resistance of change. Because when we move tech or we have to implement something new, we're like, oh, like, I feel that sometimes. Although when it comes to tech, I get super excited. But other things in life, like, it's the same idea. So introducing new technology can sometimes meet you with resistance. So don't just let this be like a side note. Like, let's really address these concerns head on, so that way you can get back to actually, focusing on your business and running your business, right? So when you're thinking about this, like, I really want you to like become really aware and like deep dive into this. So we're going to communicate the benefits, right, to yourself, like either your team or whatever you have to do. I write these down, right? So clearly articulating the new tool and how it will improve efficiency and productivity, right? That's always the goal. How is this going to support me in, making me more efficient and productive? How is this going to help me save time, right? That's the same idea. Is it going to save me money? Right? We're looking at how is this going to support me and my team and my business ultimately, right? And then another thing here is when you have a team or someone supporting you, not only do you have to learn this potentially, right? Depends on where you are in your business, but you have to provide adequate training if you're moving to a new software and maybe your team doesn't understand how to use it already. So you want to make sure that your team is equipped to use the new technology effectively, right? And that could take some time, but definitely have adequate training. And then if you are, you are implementing this yourself, you're that person, make sure you're available to offer support to answer any questions, troubleshoot issues, things like that. But if you have someone like me, that operations person that's helping you implement these things, that's where I come in and help your team be able to do this and take that off your plate as a CEO. So that's also fun. But anyway, we do need to focus on the change, but we need to like overcome that resistance. Okay. And so really think about communicating the benefits, making sure you're providing adequate training, and then making sure that you're offering support in whatever capacity that looks like, depending on your specific situation and the people that you have supporting you. Okay. So another thing here is that we are going to, after we get all of that hurdle of the change, right? Making those decisions and implementing those things, now we got to actually measure the impact. Like, is it actually supporting us long term. Like we can think in the beginning, hey, it's going to do this. And then maybe 3 months down the road or 6 months, however long, you're looking at it and you're like, this is not doing what I thought it was going to do, right? So to determine if your technology investments are actually paying off, it's actually really crucial to track key metrics. Okay. And yes, I'm doing the hard work for you. And I'm going to tell you 4 key metrics that we are going to focus on, right? You need to focus on to measure this impact. And so consider these ones: the time saved. How much time has been freed up due to automation? Okay. Technology, almost all technology has a way to automate certain aspects of it. So how much time has been freed up by automation? Think about that for each software. Increased efficiency, right? Are tasks being completed faster with higher quality, right? So are things getting done faster? And if it's even higher quality, even better, right? Now, what's the actual cost savings? Has the technology reduced operational expenses, right? Really think about it. Is it worth what you're spending on it? I always look at it this way, like you're either saving time or you're saving money, but sometimes you're investing money to save time, right? So think about it, like how is it paying off for you? And then we have the customer satisfaction, right? If this is something, the customer or client, whichever you're working with, right? Has the new technology improved the customer or client experience? That's what we're really looking at here. And by tracking these metrics, you can justify these technology investments and identify areas for further improvement, because we're always improving, right? But I also want to put this little, not disclaimer, but this thing that you really need to remember is that technology is a tool, okay? It's not a magic wand. And it's how you use it that determines its impact. So for example, if you implement, let's say ClickUp, for example, because I love ClickUp. You implement ClickUp, but you don't know the capabilities of the software to maximize it for your specific business, then you might not be saying, yeah, it hasn't saved me any time, it hasn't increased our efficiency, I'm still trying to hunt things down, or people aren't using it, right? So you have to put in place certain things. The tool can only do as much as you allow it to when you set it up, right? Or how you're implementing it into your team. So remember, it's not magic, but it can work really, really impactfully if you set it up correctly to work for your specific business operations. Okay. So if you're like, I'm intrigued about ClickUp, you can go ahead and head to the show notes. And I do some ClickUp VIP weeks to be able to help you set up your ClickUp to maximize its impact. So it will save you time. It will increase your efficiency, hopefully save you some money too. And then also your client experience will be even better, right? And so last here is, we're going to harness technology for our business success, plain and simple, right? Technology plays a huge role in streamlining operations. And so by understanding and implementing the right technology tools, right, and maximizing them, you can significantly streamline your operations and then essentially boost efficiency, right? Become way more productive, save so much time, all the things. It's my favorite thing ever. Remember, it's not about using every single tool available, right? But it's about selecting the ones that align with your business goals and make a real impact. So if you're ready to take the next step, right? I've already given you a few things if you're intrigued, but we do have the free DIY operations audit, and you can head to the show notes and grab the link to grab that. But we're going to identify bottlenecks that I've been talking about for weeks now, where bottlenecks are where things slow down significantly in your business, and tech can play a huge role in being able to remedy some of those bottlenecks. Okay. And if you're like, I really just want to talk to you, Carolee, you can also fill out the work with me form and be able to schedule a consultation call just to be able to connect and see hey, I don't know what I need or whatever that may be. We'll be able to figure it out for you, because I believe in your ability to transform your business with tech. So let's work together. Okay. If you're open to, if you're feeling the vibes, so we can actually unlock the full potential of your business and the technology in which you are using to save you time and increase your efficiency and reduce your operational expenses, and then ultimately give your clients the best experience possible. Okay. And so if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the Streamline CEO podcast. Yes, that's the one you're listening to, for more actionable steps and insights. And in our next episode, we're going to actually dive into common operational mistakes. okay? The common things I see, and then how to avoid them. And I'm also going to tell you how I became my own ideal client and what I am doing to remedy my own bottlenecks in my business. So make sure that you stay tuned for next week to be able to really get a deep dive to behind the scenes and a whole bunch of other fun things. So, but until then, all right, keep experimenting on things, keep innovating, and keep streamlining those operations. Bye for now.